One of the world's most incredible voices, of course, that of Placido Domingo. He's just walked off the stage in Washington, and he joins us on the line. Maestro, good evening to you, Placido. Placido.
Yes.
Welcome to Sydney Radio. Thank you for talking to me.
Please, good afternoon, Mr. Glover. I believe you are. It's about 3 o'clock there, a few minutes after 3. Yes?
Exactly. But tell me about you. You've just walked off stage, have you?
Well, I woke up the pit because I was conducting Tosca. Yes, I was conducting Tosca. So about an hour and a half ago, I finished the dress rehearsal tonight. Yes.
Yeah. Whether you're conducting or singing, how does it feel when you come off the stage at the end of a performance?
Well, it is really a wonderful feeling, you know. I mean, most of the time. So it is what you do. It is, you know, we are a privileged people doing what we do. You know, music is something so extraordinary, and singing is very special, you know. When we can arrive to the heart of people, I think it's a privilege, and we can make people happy and forget about their problems, at least for the time then we are performing, you know.
Do you forget about your problems when you're performing? Do you get lost in the music?
Well, you try to live there, to live being the character, or to try to make the music, you know, conducting. You don't try to put your own problems into the music. In that moment, you have to try to really give everything to the public, which with a lot of anticipation, they have got their tickets and they are there to see you, you know. So you have to give everything. So your problems, they can wait for after the performance, you know. So that's the time to exchange something very special with the public, you know.
Yeah, you're known for having more roles than almost, I think, than any other singer. 136 roles in opera you command. Do you feel different when you come off stage, having performed different roles? Does some of the character stay with you as you come off stage?
Well, at times you try to. Of course, it is. You know, I have never tried, because always is something to do after a performance. So perhaps then you have, depending the public, you know, you can have something in between 15 minutes applause or 20 minutes, so you can go to over an hour if you are with the public of Vienna. And so after that hour, you have to change, you leave the dressing room. Outside of the dressing room, there is people. Outside on the street, there is also a lot of people waiting. Then you go to a restaurant, and there is still people there. By the time you go to sleep, maybe they have passed 3 hours since you have performed, probably, you know. And I have never tried just to go to my dressing room and just collapse and fall asleep, you know, just in a sofa or something. I am convinced that if you will just go after the performance and just try to rest, probably you can fall asleep and that's it, you know. But of course, it's so much to do, you know, after. Then of course you get you know, the adrenaline starts to go. You start to pass all your performance. You think what you did right, what you don't like it, everything, you know. So then you keep awake for a long time. You see.
You need those people to bring you down slowly and gently. Placido Domingo is on the phone from Washington ahead of his Sydney concert. Tell me about the beginning of the night. We've talked about the end of the night. At the beginning of a big night like the one you'll have at Acer Arena and when you're performing an opera role, how do you get your body into the mode which it can perform this incredibly athletic act of singing?
Well, the whole thing starts by arriving to the city. Then you are going to be performing. You know, it is of course, you know, that you know, so people, it's a lot of anticipation for them. It's a lot of emotion for you, knowing that you have to perform. So probably when you arrive, you still have some press conference, you have rehearsals to do, And then it's not so much that you say it. I mean, people say, "Oh, how wonderful the career that these singers they have. They can go to one place to another." I mean, we don't make tourists. We just have to work hard, because then you have to rehearse, and then you just have to concentrate. So probably my time between rehearsal and performance is not going to be too much. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I get a free day in between, but sometimes no. So you have to be as quiet as possible and really not use your voice so much to talk, because the worst thing for a singer is to talk. So if you have to sing a concert, it's better than you are as much quiet as you can. So it is a very sacrifice, but you have to do it, because the voice have to ring and sound there for the public to make them happy.
Okay, but when you come to Sydney, you must look at the harbour, and you must cuddle the koala bear, you must look at the kangaroo. Come on.
Well, I will see it, but I mean, as I said, if I don't do the things right away arriving, then everything gets complicated and you don't have time. So, but I have been, of course, I have been in Sydney, and I have been almost in every city in Australia, and I'll be looking forward this time also. If I have the time to enjoy it, the city, I will, of course.
You're notable for many things, but I think among them is this idea that you and the other two tenors have probably introduced more new people to opera than any other performers. You must have so many people that come up to you and say, "I never knew about opera until I heard you."
Yeah, that's right. That's a very common commentary that some people make or writes to you, or because they say it before the three tenors, they didn't think about opera, so they went as a because just because it was quite of an event, and after the event they are subscribers to their city, to their company, to the opera company, and they really love opera. So that's something I think positive that my colleagues and me, we were able to do.
What was it about that moment that suddenly meant that opera opened up to this huge new audience? What made it happen? Was the timing right, or the three performers right, or the stuff you did right? What do you think it was?
Well, I think it was kind of first of all, we did it because our colleague Jose Carreras was sick during a whole year, and so it was just like a welcome back, So the three, we sang together, and it was a beautiful thing. We sang different arias, songs, operetta, whatever, but then what the public was expecting, it was the medley. It was when we were singing the three together, It was a kind of anything you can do, I can do better, It was just, you will hear the beauty of a phrase of one of your colleagues, and you will try to make it better, or if you can, and then the other one will try to do it also. So the public, it was big enjoyment for the public, and certainly for us too,
The old thing about men competing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Good old competitive
in a friendly
men.
competition,
Placido Domingo is here ahead of his Sydney concert. The other thing you're doing whilst you're in our part of the world is you're going to Christchurch to do a concert there as part of a benefit for all the trouble they've had, of course, with the earthquake. This means a lot to you, doesn't it? Because of 1985 and the Mexican earthquake. You lost 4 members of your family there.
Right. So it has been now, 25 years since that terrible moment, and of course it's something that you can never forget. And so when you see other people having the same suffering, feeling the same thing that you were feeling, it is something that you want, in any way possible, try to help.
Well, that was Mexico City, but and as you say, it was a number of years ago. But when you heard the news from Christchurch, it must have brought back memories of it for you.
Exactly. I remember, just like now, also in Japan, and I was after in Tokyo also, So it is really, is unavoidable. I mean, that things go into your mind, and you feel how really what a big tragedy for people it is, and for everybody it was a big tragedy. But can you imagine the people that on top of the tragedy, they lost everything. They lost their homes. They don't have any way to have a place to live and so on. So it's very important for everybody to do with whatever we can do to help. Everyone in their own proportion. So to be able to help.
You sound, Placido, like somebody who has a big heart, and you connect with it very, very quickly and easily. Do you think that is part of opera, that you obviously have this amazing voice, but that it's your ability to connect with your own emotions that's the real thing?
Well, I think that it doesn't matter how cool or how emotional a person it is. Personal tragedies and things in life, I think that it moves almost everyone, and I think that everyone in that moment, they react. So, but of course, I love, in the other hand, on the stage, I love the suffering, because my characters, the one that there are the big tragedies, are the ones that I enjoy it more, So I love to suffer on the stage, but in real life, I'd rather be happy.
You're performing with Catherine Jenkins, the Welsh singer. She's got a beautiful voice as well, hasn't she?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, she's a crossover artist, and so we will be. She will be doing her things, me my own things. Also, one day we will do some duets, So she's a very serious artist. Besides the fact that she's very young, and very successful, but I think she's quite a star that, of course, especially the young people likes her very much.
Well, Sydney is very much looking forward to seeing you, and I know Christchurch is as well. Thank you very much for taking some time to talk to us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Glover, and looking forward to see you there, okay?
Maestro, good evening. Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. See you soon.
There's a Placido Domingo in Washington, possessor of one of the greatest voices on the planet.